Anthropic built a model and then decided not to let you use it,
Except they are releasing it.
just with a different model standing in front of it whenever the conversation gets dangerous.
So what they actually released is a filter with a very capable thing behind it.
The model underneath is called Claude Mythos. What they're actually shipping is something more like a bouncer standing in front of it, a routing system that intercepts your request before Mythos ever sees it, decides whether it's dangerous, and if it is, quietly hands you off to Claude Opus 4.8, a smaller, less capable model instead. The version you actually access is called Claude Fable 5.
And the model doing the deciding, the router, isn't the powerful one. It's a smaller system making a judgment call about whether you get the real thing, which means the safety guarantee is only as good as that smaller model's ability to read your intent.
The thing Anthropic is trying to solve is real. The model apparently crossed some threshold on their internal safety evaluations, specifically for what researchers call CBRN uplift, meaning the ability to meaningfully help someone working on chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear weapons. Not just answer questions about the topic, actually accelerate the work.
People have been asking when AI gets capable enough to matter in that context, and the answer is apparently now, and the answer is Anthropic's own model.
So the model is only as safe as the filter in front of it. Ask about something that trips the classifier, bioweapons, serious hacking infrastructure, anything in that zone, the request gets rerouted. The dangerous version never responds.
And classifiers get beaten. That's not a criticism of Anthropic specifically, that's just the history of every content filter ever built. The people trying to get around them have more time and more motivation than the people who built them.
Red teamers at Anthropic and outside of it will start looking for the seams the moment this ships. Where does the router make mistakes? What phrasing patterns does it miss? Is there a way to walk a request in gradually so no single message triggers the threshold? Jailbreaking language models is practically a sport at this point. There are researchers who do nothing else.
And the more capable the model underneath, the higher the stakes if you find the gap.
What's strange about this approach is that Anthropic is being unusually transparent about the architecture. They're not pretending the filter doesn't exist. They're saying, here's the model, here's the leash, here's why we built it this way.
They built something they thought was too dangerous to release, and they released it anyway.
Just with the system between you and it that they're betting nobody figures out how to walk around. There's a category of computer attack called malware, software designed to break into systems and cause damage. For decades, the way you stopped it was mostly the same. Identify the specific flaw it exploits, patch that flaw, move on. Cat and mouse, but a manageable game.
Researchers just changed the game.
A team built an AI worm, a self-replicating program, that compromised nearly 2/3 of a test network completely on its own. No internet connection, no human operator feeding it instructions, just a locally running AI model reading each system it encountered and inventing a fresh attack path on the spot.
Every attack before this was written in advance. This one writes itself. Old malware is essentially a lockpick made for one specific lock. You change the lock, the pick doesn't work. What these researchers built is more like a locksmith who looks at whatever lock is in front of it and figures out how to get through.
And it runs entirely on open-weight models, meaning the AI powering it isn't some proprietary system locked behind a corporate API. A corporate API being the gated service you have to pay for and get permission to use. Open-weight models are freely available, downloadable, runnable on a laptop. The barrier to reproducing this isn't a government clearance or a research budget.
The air gap is gone too. Disconnected networks, systems that never touch the internet, have always been a last line of defense for things like power infrastructure or hospital systems. This worm doesn't need a connection to operate.
Security researchers have spent 30 years building defenses around the assumption that attacks are mostly static. Scan for the signature, block the signature. A threat that rewrites its approach for each new target doesn't have a signature to catch.
And the patch notes aren't going to save you if the attack you're about to face hasn't been written yet.
The deeper problem is that every defense we've built assumes the attacker already knows what they're doing. A system that figures it out in real time doesn't fit that model at all.
For basically all of human history, if you didn't speak the same language as someone, you either found a person who did or you didn't have the conversation.
And translation technology has existed for years, but it's always had this shape, turn by turn, meaning the system waits for you to finish an entire thought, processes it, then plays it back. You say something, you wait, a flat robotic voice reads out a sentence, and then the other person does the same thing. It's like texting through a human.
Google just shipped something that works differently. Live Translate, a few seconds behind the speaker, running on your phone. 70 languages.
Real conversation has rhythm. You're reading someone's hesitation, their emphasis, whether their voice goes up at the end. That's not decoration, that's meaning.
And what Google is doing here is preserving the speaker's actual voice, not a synthetic approximation. Your pitch, your pacing, your tone, coming out the other side in a different language.
So the person hearing you isn't hearing a translation, they're hearing something closer to you.
Which is either a very elegant technical achievement or something slightly more profound, depending on how you look at it.
I keep thinking about where you'd actually use this. Medical appointments, a parent at their kid's school who doesn't speak the language, a job interview, situations where the stakes are high and a robotic voice reading back words with a 4-second lag changes the entire dynamic.
It's in Google Translate now, not a lab demo, not a waitlist, just in the app people already have.
Every failed conversation in history came down to the same thing, the gap between what someone said and what the other person heard. That gap just got very small.
The question nobody has answered yet is what happens to the professions that live in that gap? Human interpreters at hospitals, courtrooms, asylum hearings, places where a mistranslation isn't an inconvenience, it's a consequential error. Google's system is impressive. Whether it's accurate enough for those stakes is a different question.
And that's not a reason to slow down, it's a reason to pay attention to where this lands first. Meta's smart glasses had facial recognition built in. Not announced, not disclosed, just sitting in the app code, ready to identify strangers on the street the moment you looked at them.
Researchers found it.
And within 48 hours, Meta had pulled it.
The technology was finished. The rollout was intentional. They were ready to go.
These are glasses people wear to the grocery store, to their kids' school, and the only thing that stopped always-on public facial recognition from quietly becoming normal was a couple of researchers publishing what they found.
I wonder how often they fail to catch it and one just slips through. A filmmaker in a London apartment just screened a fully AI-generated feature film at Tribeca. No actors, no cameras, no crew. He made every frame with AI tools, alone.
The reason he did it that way is the story.
The story was set in Iran. Putting real people on that set, even a simulated one, could have gotten them killed.
So he used AI not because it was cheaper, because it was the only way the film could exist at all.
Every conversation about AI in film ends up about cost. This one is about survival.
Stories that were physically dangerous to tell suddenly have a path to the screen.
Tribeca is where that happened first.
Scientists want to spray chemicals into Earth's magnetic field from a fleet of spacecraft to protect us from solar storms.
The magnetic field is the invisible shield surrounding the planet. Without it, solar radiation would strip away the atmosphere. A powerful enough storm can still punch through and knock out power grids, satellites, GPS.
The proposal is that targeted chemical releases could cut the impact of a massive storm in half.
We've always just assumed the sun's fury was something you endured.
Apparently not. Apparently there's an intervention.
The engineering required to pull this off is almost incomprehensible. A coordinated fleet, precise timing, global coordination.
And the reason anyone is seriously proposing it is that one bad solar event could take down the infrastructure that modern civilization runs on.
Back tomorrow.
A few things we're watching that haven't landed yet.
The kind that take a few days before you realize they mattered.
We'll be here.
See you then. Singularity Pulse is for informational purposes only. Nothing here is financial, legal, or professional advice. Views expressed are our own.
I'm Knox. Every Saturday on Pulse Deep Dive, one story told in acts. This season, how AI happened, who really invented the internet, and going back to the moon 53 years later. New chapter every Saturday. Find it wherever you listen.
Origins is a different kind of show. Every Sunday, we investigate the forces that shape the modern world, the geography, the science, the commerce, the decisions made centuries ago that are still playing out today. Find it wherever you listen to this podcast.